Hi guys, my name is Ezrika and I'm so glad that you can join me today. And if this is your first time, I am also really excited that you could stop by, and I hope that you are super blessed. And we're going to be talking about the greatest love story and the things we do to prevent ourselves from having this happily ever after. We all fall. What do we do when we find ourselves in situations where we've kind of compromised our relationship with God? We kind of screwed up a little bit. What do we do then? Well, first, again, just remember that you are loved, and that's not something you earned by being good or bad. Think about yourself in the worst possible position, right? Maybe you're caught in the act of sleeping with someone like the woman caught in adultery, or maybe you're in the process of doubting God's love and care for you, like Mary and Martha in the story of Lazarus when they questioned if their master loved them. Or maybe you're like the rich young ruler, you're more consumed with yourself and you're unwilling to follow God. Maybe you're like Peter. You're in the middle of denying Christ, denying him through your lifestyle, through your words, through your thoughts. Straight up just denying that dude. Know that in that moment, the moment that you are probably at your lowest, maybe even doing the worst, God's love for you does not change. And I guess that's the cool thing about some of the Bible stories. Jesus showed that he was rescuing people in the middle of their mess. In the middle of their mess, the woman caught in adultery, Jesus bends down and writes in the sand, if you are sinless, if you don't do nothing wrong, cast the first stone. And no one could. Because he's showing us that he is rescuing us from our brokenness. He's rescuing us not after we get it together. No, he's rescuing us right now as we are falling. Think about if you had a broken arm, right? And you're like, I can't go to the doctors. He's gonna tell me I was stupid for falling off of this tree. No. That's exactly who you should go to. You should go to the doctor. So here's point number 2. Number 1, you are loved no matter where you are. Number 2, don't wait till you feel like you have yourself together before you go to God. God doesn't need you to figure yourself out. He's got that on lock. He just needs you to come and ask him for help, and he will work it out. Hebrews 2:18 pretty much tells us that God went through the same suffering as us, and he made it through without ever failing. So if you want a tutor on how to make it through this life of sin, try the one who made it without actually sinning. Don't wait till you think you're good. Because as a matter of fact, our righteousness is as filthy rags. Like, our goodness means jiggity squat to God. He don't care about that. He just wants our surrender. So 1, understand that God's love for you doesn't change. 2, know that you have a high priest who understands it. Like, he came and he beasted this, and now he's just like, yo, let me help you. Tag me in. I got you. And 3, understand that no matter what it is that you're going through, however much this temptation seems like it will consume you, this pleasure seems like I need to do this. 2 things. 1 Corinthians 10:13 tells us that we are not tempted beyond what we can bear. But to that other end, it is important to understand that Mark 14:38 says that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So know this, you won't ever be given more than you can bear, but you can't do this on your own. Because even when you want to do what's right, sin is like, that thing is a heavy weight. This is a great war, a great controversy. You can't do this on your own, but you don't have to. That was never the name of the game. The name of the game was, I came and paved the way. Follow in my footsteps. Let me help you. Please, I beg of you. And this is why Luke 22:40 reminds us that we have to pray lest we fall into temptation. What it really ultimately comes down to is an understanding that, I'm screwed up. I'm a sinner. I make mistakes. I have my desires. I have my wants. I have my pleasures. And without God himself, I will naturally fall into this. But if God is for us, who can be against us? And again, the whole purpose of Jesus coming to this earth was so that we don't have to be slaves to these temptations. We don't have to keep falling for the same thing. He came to rescue us if we would just let him. So now you're like, okay, but what if I've done so much? I've screwed up. You know what? Like, I promised myself I wouldn't do this anymore. I just got baptized and I still fell into this temptation. I've been in the church for so long and I still have certain sins. There are things in me that I hide from the people that I love because I'm so ashamed. I am filled with shame because of who I really am. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what God's not, like, he's not surprised by. You. He's not surprised that you're a sinner. He's not surprised that I'm a sinner. He's not like, oh shoot, oh my gosh, Ez just did that. Wow, that's a deal breaker. Nah, he fully knew who we were before he came, and he still chose us. He chose us even with our dark and tarnished heart. 1 John 3:20 tells us that if our heart condemns us, God is greater than our heart. For every mistake you've made, for everything that you've done that you regret, for every sin, every temptation, I feel like God sometimes like, I don't care. Listen, just ask me, just come to me. I don't care. I want you. I actually just want you. So you coming to me being like, man, God, I messed up. God's like, bet, let's move forward. I'm not really stressing about your past. I'm more so concerned about your future. Yes, there are times when our hearts condemn us, but just know this. God himself, the one who committed no sin, is committed to forgiving your sin. Like he's so ready to cast that thing away because again, for him, he wants a relationship with you, and sin is the thing that separates us. Our sins separate us from God. So the moment you turn to God and you're like, I want to work on us, God's like, Shawty, I've been waiting for this conversation. Honestly, I've been here. I've been ready. I love you. That hasn't changed. And that goes with time too. It doesn't matter how long you've stepped away, how far you've gone, what you've done. The moment you come back, Jesus is like, finally, can we get on with the regularly scheduled program called I'm Trying to Save You? I want you to live with me for all of eternity. That's, I think, the stance Jesus takes. He never loves us less for being sinners because he knew that that's who we were. Proverbs 24:16-18. Man. This verse, I think, it's just claimable. Like, it's just something that you have to claim every time you do fall. Because the thing is, we do fall. We do. We fall over and over and over, and it is God's grace that picks us back up. But this verse says, the just man falls 7 times and he rises up again. I don't know where you are or what you've done or what shame you carry or what guilt you carry. It's not of God. But listen, when you fall, get back up again, because that's what the just man does. Followers of Christ, we fall 7, 8, a million times, just get back up again. But really what it is let the love of God pick you back up again. Don't run from God in shame thinking I'm so unworthy. Don't do the exact opposite. Run towards things that look like God, that are Christ-like, but aren't God. Run to God himself. So mission work won't save you, neither will the world. So being a leader in the church won't save you, neither will the world. Matter of fact, let me tell you, back to this devil, the fraud, right? The devil, I think of creation when God made all these amazing things, and at the end of it, he's like, this is good. I've noticed that the devil, again, he can't create, but he can counterfeit. So he can't create these beautiful situations, but he can counterfeit situations of chaos and degradation. So the devil is not tripping if we get baptized. He's like, you can get baptized, but you're not going to really pursue a relationship with God. And he's like, yeah, this is good. The devil's not tripping when we're leaders in the church. He's like, they can do that, but they're still sleeping around and they're still not really committed to loving and serving like Christ. And he's like, yeah, be a leader in the church. Go for it. The devil's not upset that we've been in the church for all of our life or for many years. He's like, yeah, but they're lukewarm. So I don't care. He's not upset when we do good things, because doing good things is not the same as being saved or being in a relationship with God. So don't be fooled. Your works don't save you. It comes down to you and God. Think of your life as a love story. Everything that you experience is God wooing and pursuing you endlessly, irrevocably. Like, he not gonna stop. That man loves us. He's gonna keep trying until our very last breath. and then take sin and not make it like some rules and regulations that the church set, or stipulations that some human being desired or some human being deemed necessary, but think of it as the thing that screws up our love story, the thing that screws up our happily ever after, the thing that stops us from feeling and understanding the depths of who God created us to be and who He is for us. That's what sin is. And temptation is just this inclination to fall into the very thing that will tear us apart. But they are overcomable. If you've made mistakes, it's cool in that if you confess those sins, if you confess those faults, if you come back and like, hey God, listen, I'm sorry. God's like, all right, bet, let's rock. I love you. Let's go do great things in this life. You are loved, and that's the beginning and end of the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with someone if the idea of sin and temptation has never been presented to you in this way. Subscribe, ring the bell if you like notifications. I actually don't like notifications, so don't ring it if you don't want to, but just know there will be new videos every Sunday. Bye, guys.